Hello world, this is Stefan of Lendergan Games. As of September 7th, I've managed to put shirts on everybody. If you're wondering why adding something as simple as a shirt has taken 2 weeks, then I thank you for your vote of confidence in my ability to hide the seams. Even while fixing up the shirt, I discovered some more fundamental problems with the character parts that I didn't need to address before, but will definitely need to fix later down the road. Fortunately, I also figured out dimensions for the parts I'll need, so that's less dread for that part of the roadmap. Speaking of the roadmap, though, I'm basically dedicating September to art instead of programming. Roguelikes need equipment variants, so I still need to make a dagger, sword, axe, shield, gloves, boots, and leather armor pieces. Before I go into what to expect from the game, if you'd like notifications for these videos, join the Discord, and the link is in the description. I'd normally recommend joining the mailing list as another option, but the site for that is currently down for maintenance. The short version is that I'm making a roguelike role-playing game based off of Castle of the Winds. If you're part of the 99% of Earth that doesn't know that game, check out the links in the description and play it. It's one of the most newcomer-friendly roguelikes you can find. Thanks goes especially to DW Terminator for spreading the word on how to get it running on modern systems. Since I'm using the term roguelike, I figure that quantifying how much like Rogue it's going to be will also help describe the game. So if you're not a hardcore roguelike aficionado, say hello to the Berlin interpretation. Random dungeon generation. Of course. I don't have any personal opinion on the mechanic, but Castle of the Winds did it, so I'm doing it. Permadeath. Not really. I'll likely include a hardcore mode down the line, but I'm not particularly fond of permadeath. However, creating incentives to let characters stay dead is still on the table. Non-modal, or able to do any action at any time. Yes, I do plan to let the player character attack merchants and talk to bandits. The keys for pick stuff up and go downstairs already have an effect if there's no stairs and nothing to pick up. Why you'd want to is a question for the player to answer. Interconnected systems. I don't know if this game will get complex enough to apply, but yes, if enough systems happen, I'll let them play themselves out. Myself, I get more enjoyment from systems-based games than from narrative-driven ones, so letting systems interact with each other will be given higher priority than curating the player experience. Resource management. Not really. I'm not terribly fond of the survival mechanics, so I highly doubt I'll put a hunger meter or anything like that into this. If stamina and magic management counts, though, then sure. Hack and slash focus without peaceful options. Mostly. Like I said previously, hostile negotiations will be allowed in this, and that's because I do plan to put role-playing in here as well. That said, talking down bandits will be one option, and obliterating them and taking their stuff will be another option. Identities unclear until identification process. Sure, why not? I don't have an opinion on it, but Castle of the Winds did it, and I'm following suit. The rest of these are minor attributes, but hey, they'll help describe the game a little more. Controlling only one character each run. Sure, why not? Enemies have player-like behaviors and abilities. Most likely. Some monsters will have physiological abilities that the player likely won't get, such as Dragon's Breath, but I'm planning to create a large pool of abilities from which everything gets something. Tactical challenge. That's likely going to happen by itself. Anyone who doesn't take advantage of choke points in a group fight is an idiot. ASCII characters on a tile map. I'll give you 3 guesses for each of those qualifiers. Exploring dungeons. Of course. Present status of player in game through on-screen numbers. Sure, why not? On a side note, I've seen at least a few attempts at recreating Castle of the Winds from scratch. Unfortunately, because Rick Sada didn't know his game would become a cult classic, the source code didn't get preserved. That actually happened to a lot of games from the 1970s and 80s, and for the exact same reason. Further misfortune is that none of the recreations have succeeded or even been completed. I feel somewhat like I'm one more traveler on that doomed path, but because I'm making a game similar to Castle of the Winds and not one exactly like it, I don't have the albatross of perfect replication wall blind around my neck. Of course, that's not to say I'm doing any better than the programmers who gave up. Were I trying to one-to-one replication, I'd already be long dead in the water.